Hello guys, welcome to Hank's Precision Gun Parts. What we're going to talk about right now is this repair plug that I offer on my website. I'm going to give you a little demonstration of how this plug can be used and what it might be able to save you a barrel one of these days. So I've got a barrel here sent in from a customer. This is a good quality barrel from MGM. It was a 4570 and he sent this barrel off to have a breech plug put in it. They were going to put in this Flame system, and the gunsmith or whoever did the work bored the hole out too deep. So now when they screw this plug in, the firing pin won't even hit the primer. So what they did, they come up and they put a brass washer in here. I've already knocked the brass washer out so I could get good measurements. So they put a brass washer in to set the headspace to the correct dimension so that they could use this barrel last year during hunting season. After the season was over, he sent this to me so that I can fix it. Now I've got a piece of paper here on the table with all the dimensions on it, and I'm going to just go over with this and show you what you can do to fix this problem if you ever run into it. This also works for barrels that have been flame cut. You can go in, recut the barrel, get you a good solid base in here and start from scratch. I made this plug 100 thousandths longer than the factory Encore plugs that were used in a lot of these conversions, so you've got some room to play with. On this barrel right here, the guy that did the work on it bored this down 1 inch 426 thousandths. If you measure the Flame plug with the primer module in place, and I've already measured all these, it measures 1 inch 322. So we've got a difference of 104 thousandths. So when you screw this in all the way down, it's 104 thousandths over depth, too much. So what you can do is buy this plug for me, which is what I'm calling my repair plug, because it'll fix a lot of these problems. Anybody that bores too far, and it happens. Shouldn't, but it does. So this plug measures 1 inch 756 thousandths. So what you would need to do is bore this barrel 330 thousandths deeper. So you put this back up in your machine, set it up with a boring bar. Don't use an end mill, use a boring bar. Reach up in there, bore that pocket to 1 inch 756 thousandths from this face right here. Go from right here, 1 inch 756 thousandths. You'll be able to screw that plug in. But use a boring bar. Don't use an end mill. End mill does not cut a flat bottom hole. You have to use a boring bar. You want to come into it, make your cut, and then back out away. It cuts a square shoulder. So you can do that 330 thousandths deeper. Or I have left a lot of head on this plug. You could put this plug in your lathe and you could cut 100 thousandths off of this head. You could cut 150 thousandths off of the head. The plug would still work the same, and you don't have to bore your barrel out quite so deep. So there's several ways of making this plug work. It's easy to modify it for you guys if you wanted to modify it. This does use the direct ignition system screw-in primer modules, so you have to unscrew those. I also offer this plug with the brass modules, but then you can't modify the head of the plug. If you wanted to modify it at all, you'd have to modify this end, but it could still be done. So anyway, I just wanted to run over that with you, how this plug can save your barrel. You don't have to throw the barrel away just because you got erosion or you went too deep on the install. So that saves a lot of good barrels out there. This one is a good barrel. We wanted to save it. So the Hankins Repair plug available at hanksprecisiongunparts.com.